Meanwhile, our next guest says it's time to get down to business on budget and other reforms. His path to progress is an outline for reform in state government, and he's here to talk about that and more. Senate President Steve Sweeney, welcome back to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, David.
So I'm going to quote you from the other day when you sat down with some of the crew here at NJ Spotlight News. You said, "I'm telling you right now, I'm not doing taxes or fees until there's reform." You had a deal, didn't you? A hard vote on a millionaire's tax in exchange for serious talks about reform, right?
Well, the agreement was with going along with the borrowing and the millionaire's tax and everything going along with the budget that we would start addressing the tough things that have to still get done here, David. And there's a lot of obviously need to get New Jersey in a place where it's more affordable. And these are the tough things. It's school consolidations, it's new pension system, it's looking at our infrastructure to see how we can leverage that. You know, we're asset rich and cash poor. You know, it was outlined, there was 27 recommendations outlined in that report. And there's a commitment to do reforms. Now listen, it wasn't a commitment to do every one of them. I know that. But we got to start doing them. And for me, we've already started with school consolidation, Dave. We put money in the budget, I think $3 million in the budget to do studies about consolidation. And I can tell you throughout the state, there are school districts that are actually, you know, from all this discussion, voluntarily looking at consolidation. The school districts with less than 500 kids spend 17% more than the highest spending districts in the state. So again, they're just not efficient. Salem County took me many hours in Salem County, meeting with the mayors and meeting with all the school board presidents. Well, we finally got them to agree to look at a countywide school system. There's only 11,000, there's less than 11,000 kids, David, in Salem County. They spent $226 million on education. Cumberland County, not Cumberland, but Vineland, which is very similar when it comes to, you know, it's very similar community demographically. They got 11,000 kids. They spent 180 million.
Is that going to be enough savings?
Well, if we could achieve $46 million, oh, you know, of course it is. David, you know what I found happen, we did it years ago when I was a freeholder director in Gloucester. We merged two school districts and our special service and our vocational school. Administratively, not the schools themselves, they're separate, but administratively we had a school district. And we started out saving $750,000, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's $750,000. And within a couple of years, got it over $1.5 million a year in savings.
Are you guys seriously talking about this, or is this one of those things where here you are all headed into an election year and you're going to need to have some uncomfortable conversations about changes that would affect adversely, in some cases, the governor's base?
It doesn't have to be that way, David. Look, we worked with the NJA to save $1 billion in healthcare. We worked collectively with them to save $1 billion. It doesn't have to be an adversarial way. I'd rather sit at the table with these people, with these organizations, and work to fix it. You know, David, in Pennsylvania, the unions, you know, gave the state of Pennsylvania a new pension system. They gave them a new pension system. They worked with them to put a new pension system in place. The unions did. So we're in the same situation. So there's no reason why they should be looking at all these things. David, we're asset rich and cash poor. We own a lot of things. We own a whole lot of things. So do we look at that? Do we leverage those to get us out from underneath? Again, you don't have to sell it. You can lease. There's lots of things that you can do. You know, we looked at, you know, hot lanes. One of the recommendations was hot lanes up in the northern, especially in the northern part of the state, where you get a private sector to develop an extra lanes. You don't take lanes away. You add lanes to federal highways like they have down in, I think it's Virginia has them, and you generate revenue and you reduce congestion. There's a lot of things we can do here.
I got to ask you what you thought about the inaugural this week and how Biden administration could be different.